I remember going to that Edinburgh Fringe when it was in the middle of a heat wave, and I thought about you in that fucking little cave room having to suit up every day.
You in a sauna?
Bro, like that Edinburgh Fringe in 2022, it wasn't even the cave room. The cave room was a joy.
Oh, the AC/DC one.
Yeah, the AC/DC room, that was fine. Like, that was where I was the next year. It's got aircon. It's a nightclub. The other one is like just a castle, kind of sandstone wall, wood on the windows to help with the sound bleed. Just the horror.
Yeah.
I just remember moisture forming. You could see moisture hanging in the air at the back where the lights were.
Have you ever had a moment where you've been like, you know what, tonight, like, let's just pack it in the trackie. We can just make do this one time.
What, make do?
Yeah.
Without the tracksuit, I got nothing. I got nothing. You out of your fucking mind?
Oh, yeah, why don't I shave my mustache off when I'm at it, you idiot?
What?
All right.
Oh, yeah, I'm Daniel Muggleton. I'm bisexual. Why don't we just ruin everything I've built? Ruin the whole brand because it's a bit hot, Hamo.
Hi, I'm Daniel Muggleton. Do you have strong opinions about race? Me neither.
Hamo going up there being like, I'm a former PR man. Just got out of the office.
Never say never.
I've been rated as one to watch by AFR.
I did actually win a 30 under 30 award by B&T magazine.
You won 30 under 30?
Yeah, when I was like 27. I was a hot shot, baby. I was doing things,
And then
it all fell apart.
read about it in my book.
From 30 under 30 to 20 to life.
Very good.
It's good. That's hot. Hot start. Hotter than me in a fucking tracksuit in summer.
Well, because you went because you do have the summer kit. You got the tracksuit shorts.
Remember,
too.
I did that in Newcastle.
I couldn't believe it
after the live pod because I was just lazy. And
Yeah.
I was too confident after how hot that live pod went, and then boy did I bomb for 2 hours. Not worth the risk.
Yeah.
If you can see my knees, you don't believe my opinions.
I mean, yeah, that room does get real hot.
They got so hot. It was 3 back-to-back shows, and they just got a little hotter every time.
I did that same room a couple of weeks ago, and it was fucking steaming in there. And it was similar conditions. It was just, but people get like heat exhaustion. By the end, like Rathy was closing, and like he was being amazing, but like just the laughs weren't quite there because everyone's like dying of heat exhaustion.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But these are the trials and tribulations of stand-up comedy.
Well, remember, Tom, that gig we did in the Gold Coast in the warehouse.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a kind of a music venue that we put comedy on. I liked it a lot, but for comedy it wasn't ideal. But remember, the guy was like, "Man, you should wear an ice vest under your tracksuit."
Yeah.
It was like a mining guy. And he's like, "That's what we do when we're in the hole."
Would you ever consider that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds brilliant.
I know. I was like, "Thank you." I've really done nothing but slag off your industry my entire life.
Had you heard of an ice vest before? I'd never heard of it until you brought it up.
Dude, I don't even I don't know about these things.
I had a cellmate who was arrested because they caught him with an esky full of ice, but it was the illegal drug ice.
Does that need to be kept cold? What's it doing in the esky, mate? Is it just a sucker for continuity? Where else did I put ice? The esky, obviously. What, are you out of your mind?
He's like, wait a minute, this is methamphetamine. Don't drink that. Be careful.
Because it's so nice when you Google people that you've associated with in prison to check whether what they've said they were locked up for is real.
You're fact-checking prisoners.
You got to fact-check because guys can lie to you. One of the guys I was closest
In
to...
prison?
Yeah. One of
the same
I had a misunderstanding. I had a bad time with one of the guys that I was close to lied to me. He'd said that he was in there for killing someone who had like interfered with one of his kids. And that was what everyone in the yard knew to be the story. And so he was like respected in the yard. Turns out total
Insider
lie.
trading.
Total lie.
I actually remember this story from the car, and Tom, it is so much worse.
No, and I remember the story from a different car, and I don't think it's great pod content, if I'm honest.
Well, yeah, it turns out that he'd brutally murdered his ex. He didn't have any kids. And so when I Googled that really let me down. But when I Googled the esky story, 100% true, like a kilo of ice in the esky. And because it was my cellmate, you're like, thank God. There we go. That's funny.
Kilo of ice in the esky.
Kilo of meth in an esky.
Were there any drinks in there?
Don't know. I kind of didn't read the full article. As long as I saw the headline and saw that it was my buddy Paul.
You lied to your cellmates when you were in prison?
Well, they mocked me because when it turned out that my magic mushrooms had tested negative for psilocybin temporarily, right? I was a laughing stock of the prison because they were like, the Mushroom King doesn't even sell real mushrooms. So I'd be locked up at night in the afternoon at 3:00, and there'd be guys be like, "Oh, Hamo, can I get some mushies?" And they'd be like, "Some real ones, you fucking coward." They're like, we're all having banter.
Man, wait till they find out how much cocaine you were giving people.
Wait, what do you mean? There was no psilocybin in your mushrooms?
So there was like some kind of lab. There was a contamination with some of the mushrooms, and so I don't know. There was some kind of story that they couldn't test my mushrooms because they were contaminated, and the results were inconclusive.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the reasons I got bail. It was because that was my biggest criminal charge, and that got taken off for like a few weeks. And that was when we struck at the courts.
When we struck? How did you strike there, mate?
We said, Your Honour, the biggest charge has been taken off. He's not that big a criminal. And then like when I got out, they were like, oh, actually, they're testing positive. Like it's back on. And then I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to prison for several years.
Then you got lucky.
I got lucky.
Got very lucky.
Not
No
only
truth in sentencing. Good judge.
Not only did the mushrooms turn out to be psychoactive, it also ruined my pizza party.
I don't know. I know that Hamo hears the news about his mushrooms. I didn't test positive. So test them again. Your Honor, I take a lot of pride in this.
Yeah, I can imagine you'd actually be quite. It's kind of ruined your reputation as the Mushroom King of Sydney.
Well, when I was walking away after my lawyer had told me that my half a kilo of psilocybin mushrooms had tested negative for the illegal ingredient, I was walking back to my cell going, they really are magic.
It's like platform 9 3/4.
I was like, holy shit, just when I need them to come through, the cloak of invisibility, you know?
Mate, take 2 grams of these, you'll be tripping your balls off, but you have to believe.
These are shit. No, your shit up here. Have faith in the mushrooms, boys. You should buy more.
That's just giving me flashbacks to just sometimes when I had to deal with customer complaints, when they'd be like, hey man, these mushrooms not working, want a refund. And I had to be like, mate, like, how long ago did you have them? Because like, with your body biochemistry, there's all these variables. They just because you have them doesn't mean they instantly kick in. If you've had a whole pizza, try to have a magic mushroom. Sometimes the body's got to digest the pizza before the mushroom.
Speaking from experience there, mate.
I am a trained professional with this stuff. I know what I'm talking about. So
Mate,
I said,
you're going to want to take the mushrooms before your second dinner.
That's what we call the sweet spot in the drug industry.
Or
have your first dinner, chill. Have your mushies, wait.
well,
then have your second
we're
dinner.
selling them in large gelatinous caps as well. So the body has to digest the gelatin and then digest the mushroom. And if you've got food on top of that, this thing can take time. So I would say, look, just don't have too much food before you have the mushroom. If you want to speed it up, open the cap, right? Because if you've opened the cap in your mouth and swallow it, it's going to speed it up because your body just starts to digest.
What if you shelve it?
I never shelved the mushroom actually, but I know from experience with other drugs that it can be a lot of fun.
It's my scientific opinion that given the biochemistry, it can be quite fun.
Dude, if my drug dealer dropped biochemistry as a word about, this guy knows what he's talking about. This is red hot.
So this guy, I said to him, look, sorry to hear that, mate. If you're still unhappy in an hour, let me know. And tomorrow, come by with whatever mushrooms you didn't eat, and I'll refund you for those caps. An hour later, I just got a message that was just like complete gibberish. Like just nonsensical words. And that was enough for me to know the mushrooms had finally worked. And the next day, I would not hear anything about a refund.
Yeah.
I know sometimes it just takes longer. It's always weird. It's tough when you're in a circle of friends and you've all ingested mushrooms and everyone's fucked except for one guy because then they start wondering like, is this what it's meant to feel like?
Yeah.
And then you're also like paying them out like fucking like we're all having a great time, you loser. Like when you can't get high.
I like that even when high on mushrooms, peer pressure still runs thick in your veins.
Shake it in your belly. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know.
Soft cock.
Yeah.
Why aren't you hallucinating? Hey, the higher power called. He says you're a loser.
I had to give people advice sometimes because they'd be like, look, they used to work for me, now they're not working. And so I'd find out over the years, I collected all this data about the things that make mushrooms work. Like a bit of like lemon acidity can kickstart it sometimes. And also if you've had antidepressants, that can really depress the feeling of the mushrooms. They don't work so much. So sometimes when people wanted to have a mushroom high, they'd have to stop taking their antidepressants a few days in advance before they have the mushrooms. Right, but you learn all of this over years and years and years of experience.
And then they go see their shrink and they're like, yeah, I'm not feeling really good. I stopped taking my antidepressants. Who told you to do that? Oh, Dr. Hamilton? The biochemist?
There was a British soldier that used to buy MDMA off me because mine was considered very, very high grade. And he would do therapy on it, psychotherapy. Because
That's the thing. I know that's the thing.
PTSD, right?
Because he found that if he talked about his traumatic experiences on MDMA, it would help to link a traumatic memory with a positive, like physiological feeling.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I got through year 12. I don't know about you guys.
That guy sounds like a nightmare to rave with.
Oh man, can you imagine? Sitting at some party is like, so we're fucking in this trench and my buddy Tom is missing 2 legs and fucking
Unz. And he's like, yeah, mate, yeah. And that's when he passed away. I'll never forget when the light left his eyes and this guy's giving him a lecture like, way. Finally, a positive experience. I can't wait till after this I go watch Dunkirk while I'm high. I mean, I gotta say, every time it's like we should take more. Like that is there ever been a more universal drug story than the edible that isn't working? We should take more. I don't think anyone has ever been happy with that decision.
Yeah, totally. I've had that happen where I was paranoid that my mushrooms weren't working. And because we'd gone through a little period where they the potency had dropped quite a bit. And so I was still paranoid. Then we fixed it. But I had like 3, and that's quite a lot. That's a large dosage.
3 grams?
3 grams. And I waited about maybe an hour, and they weren't quite hitting me. And I'm like, fuck, this is fucked. Like, they're not working. So I just had another 4. And so I'd had 7 grams.
Oh, my God.
And then my toilet started to talk to me. And I remember feeling like the earth had like tilted on its axis, and I had to hold on to my towel rack just to hold on to earth.
Sorry, can you imagine out of anything in Hamo's house, who would he least like to talk to? That'd be the toilet. Say sorry for what you've done to me. You made my life a living hell.
I remember the toilet seat just flapping like, I'm just holding on to the towel rack like,
You don't need 2 dinners. Stop putting this through me.
Hammer, you were fucked last night. You kept pissing in John's mouth.
Dude, yeah. I still remember like just the classic, university, we're going to make edibles, like just like weed, like, my friend is like, this is how much we should take. Like, how much you put in the brownies. Like we actually did the brownies. Like it was that stereotypical. And like he had this book called Cooking with Cannabis where all the recipes were in bushweed. But he was very concerned that hydroponic wouldn't, like the quantities like were crazy. It was like an ounce to put in. So he's like, let's just do half an ounce in the brownies. Yeah. Anyone who knows anything about weed is like, this is a horrible idea straight away. But like, yeah, there were 8 of us. You got half an ounce.
So much.
And then we had all of it between us. So we basically just had 2 sticks each.
That's 14 grams is a half hocker. So there we go. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, we almost had 2 sticks each. I remember we just had the first one. We're sitting in the park in Burwood, just being like, you feeling anything? Nah, let's take another one. And then just immediately, just the level of freak out. I went to hospital with my girlfriend at the time because she thought she couldn't breathe, but she could. She would just forget that she was doing it because she was so high. We put on Pulp Fiction, one of the all-time horrible ideas. Like my friend's like, why don't we watch a movie? All right, what about Pulp Fiction? We're like, okay, because we're just agreeable because we're high as shit.
Yeah.
And it just, the trauma, I still can't watch it.
Yeah.
I think the worst one I've watched on drugs was Requiem for a Dream.
Requiem for a Dream?
God.
Oh my God.
I watched that on mushrooms and fuck me, Dan. Have you seen that movie?
No, I know it's heroin addicts, right? Is that the thing?
Yeah, they're massive drug addicts, but it's like it really like goes into the addiction.
There's that double-ended dildo scene, like with the girls like trying to score, like the prostitutes, like a kind of eyes wide shut party kind of scenario.
And they do it ass to ass.
Ass to ass.
It's just a bunch of guys throwing cash at them as they've sold their souls and their bodies, just going ass to ass,
like
ass to. And
terrifying
I
soundtrack. That's like just like this really like eats that shit.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But he was mainly looking up Bart the Bear facts.
Let's
not forget.
The toilet loved it. Totally had a great time.
Oh yeah, that was heavy.
It's just, I think that's just, it's a rite of passage, right? Hey, they're not working. What should we do? I'll probably take more just in case.
Yeah.
There's also that feeling when you've taken the second dose and then you start very
Feeling
shortly
the
after
first
you
dose?
start to feel the first dose, and then you're like, oh no, You're like, oh no, what does this mean for me?
And so it's like, Hammer, run!
you're like, things are about to seriously escalate.
Everyone's looking at Hammer answers. He's like, biochemistry. I'm out of answers.
Dude, classic.
I used to have like serious, like responsible advice to people when they come over to buy mushrooms when they were rookies. They'd be like, how much do I have? And I said, look, a fair dose is just one cap. I said, have that and then see how you go. You can always have more, but you can't have less, right? And that seemed like safe advice.
I like to think you were sitting on the toilet twirling your beard at this time.
Because I was in the business of people having a very positive drug experience. Because you don't want people to have a horrifying time on mushrooms. They're never going to come back. I was in the business of repeat business.
This is a PR man.
Yeah.
Top 30 out of 30.
There we go. That's how you do it.
This guy knows how to spin it.
You want people to feel like this guy was lovely. I had a really positive time. I had a fantastic time on drugs. Good value.
And his toilet was a fucking top bloke. We all love him. And he got the naked British guy in the corner as well. What an eclectic mix.
Yeah, he's got Requiem for a Dream on 4K.
That reminds me.
8K.
That reminds me of a time we had too many mushrooms, and one of my mates went to the bathroom for like ages. He was in there for like an hour, and like we were like, "Is he all right in there?" And then he came out, and he just looked at us straight face and goes, "Fuck Japan is weird." Did
you ever find out why?
Sorry, the toilet's Korean.
Good stuff.
Why was Japan weird? I mean, not wrong.
I guess he just started to hallucinate in the bathroom that he was in a Japanese bathroom. I don't know.
Did your toilet have like one of the bidets in it, maybe?
No,
No.
A heated toilet seat?
Head toilets?
I can see
None
it as
of
a
that.
warmed boy.
none of that. But when you are on drugs, psychedelic drugs, you can just create this stuff in your mind.
Well,
You know?
get out of here.
Yeah, it's part of the fun. You know when you're on mushrooms and you just close your eyes and there's just like this colourful rainbow and all these things moving and you're like, oh, this is more... You're like, it's crazy when you can have more fun just looking at the back of your eyelids than with them open. No, never been there? All right. We're going to have a mushroom adventure on the pod next episode. Not from me. I'll source them from somewhere else because I'm not allowed to supply them.
I like the idea
I don't
like
think
now.
anyone's allowed to supply them.
Just like, I used to be allowed to
Doctors.
supply them. Then I-
Doctors?
Legally
In
in,
New South
I think in
Wales?
Queensland, I think
Okay.
there's a couple of doctors that can legally prescribe them now.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing because during the pandemic, when I thought I could figure out the stock market in 2 to 3 days, I invested heavily in mushrooms. And that company's now in liquidation, so don't worry about it.
There you go.
So that's what you get when you put money into fucking Hammo's business, I guess.
They're in liquidation. They sell liquid LSD now.
Much better, much smoother. But Hammo, in one of the great segue stitches, you had an expensive beer you wanted to tell us about, mate. Off you go.
Wait, do we have enough time to cover this? How much? Maybe we should save this for another episode.
Look, all I can say is we've got 40,000 minutes left. Hammo, get in, mate.
All right. So I went to an open mic gig last night in Glebe at a place called the Wildfire Lounge. And
How was that, by the way?
the gig was pretty good.
Okay.
Like, for an open mic, they had like an audience of maybe 15.
Okay.
Which was pretty decent. They were laughing at jokes. So I like that. But
Really good audience there.
but
For any audiences at home, that's what you want to do.
But this bar, check this out. They the last time I was there, which would have been like 2 months ago, they only had one beer that they sold.
What?
Yeah.
Like one beer on tap or one beer?
No, they got nothing on tap. It was just in the fridge, which also is not full. They could easily fit more cold drinks in there. They had one.
This is not a well-stocked fridge, boys. I've
got-
seen fridges.
They got one beer, and it was called Cass, and it's a South Korean beer.
I know Cass. Cass is all right.
It was shit.
good?
Anyway, so I'd had that last time, and it was underwhelming.
Okay.
So I go, can I get a beer? And they're like, oh, we've got 2 beers. I'm like, okay, they've upgraded. They've doubled their inventory.
They still got Cass?
They've still got Cass, but they're like, oh, we've got Cooper's Green. And I'm partial to a Cooper's Green. So they got me the Cooper's Green, and then I didn't ask the price, and they rang it up, $14.50.
For a
and I was like, for a can, for 375 ml
For a can?
Can of, nothing on tap, only in cans. The cask is 335 mils. That was $9. I'm not here nor there on that one. But $14.50.
I'm not going to die on that hill.
$14.50 for the Cooper's Green. And I was like, I'd just come from a gig at Sweeney's Hotel where they're doing $7 schooners of Bolter XPA. Right?
Yeah,
That's a good deal.
That's a very good deal.
Let's just talk about millage for a second. 425 mils in a schooner glass. I can get 2 of those. That's 850 mils for $14. That's still cheaper than 375 mils of Cooper's Green.
And you got 50 cents to spend on sauce somewhere.
There we go.
Excellent
half a
news.
chicken
You
wing at
can't get
Sweeney's.
sauce. Where can you get sauce for 50 cents these days?
I'm talking about the travel pack with a pie, with a sausage roll.
All right, that's about the only sauce. You
Not
can't
the artisanal dipping sauce to which you have such hatred.
Well, I used to be part of that. We know I used to be part of that racket.
The racket?
Yeah.
The sauce racket.
The sauce racket.
Do we know this?
Yeah, we
the
talked
pizza
about it.
joint.
When
Oh,
we
the
have
pizza joint. Yes,
pizza
of
joint,
course, of course.
all
For
those
dipping-
fancy sauces.
dippers for the
You know when
pizzas.
I had that aneurysm when I tried to describe sauces?
Fuck
One of the all-timers.
Chicken southern barbecue.
Words. Texas. Location. Animal. Something about smoke.
Yeah. So, the thing was, like, I know that in the hospitality market, you try to make off alcohol, you try to make around 80% profit. right?
Okay.
That's what you generally
That's
when
your
you're running a
margin.
business. But to make I looked up how much a case of Coopers or cask costs. They're taking 80% if they were buying these beers at retail, not like
wholesale.
not wholesale, which is what you're supposed to be doing as a business.
What's this character?
Have I never talked to you about business before?
Not so much. I feel like your alpha guy is kind of coming out on the pod now. I almost figured it out.
So it bothered me because if that was like cheaper, let's say it was around $10, I would have had more beers than the one I had, and then I was outraged and didn't buy any more.
I mean, like, you're talking to me like I didn't used to work for the magician who did buy beers from the bottle shop across the road and then charge $13 for a Crown Lager.
Oh, yeah.
But he'd also change the prices daily. You'd just be like, what's a Crown this week? And he's like, 12. And I'm like, that's good.
How am I feeling?
Market's down.
Market's down.
Then next week it'll be 15. You're like, what happened? He's like, oh, I got a parking fine. You're like, okay. You know, it's very needs-based pricing. The communists would have loved it.
That is wild.
Yeah. But that was his game. But I also feel if there's ever like a place with no beer on tap, they tend to overcharge.
Yeah. But I also looked up on their website. I went onto the Wildfire Lounge website just to check.
How's rewriting the book going?
Well, look, I have to spend a certain amount of time each day dedicated towards the podcast. I'm like, I
You
need
billing us for
to
this?
find interesting content for the boys.
You trying to claim this beer on tax? Why do you keep talking about it? What the fuck is this long play?
I went on their website and they had a whole bunch of advertised beers from Lord Nelson Brewery, which I'm actually drinking right now,
That's true.
which was not. They've never had it available. In the times that I've been
In
there.
the 2 times you've been there, they've
I think
never
I was-
had it available.
Well, I think
never's a bit strong for 2 times.
When it was run by Barnett and Tom Orr, I went there another time before it was the open mic, and also again I remember them having a very limited beer selection. But to have 1 or 2 beers at a licensed premises it's a bit insane to me.
What are they like a cocktail joint? Are they focusing on
I
other
also
beverages?
look behind the shelf, and the options of spirits also look extremely limited. Like, is this actually a bar, or is this some kind of, I don't know, is there something untoward going on?
Are you suggesting this is a money laundering
It
operation?
could be running drugs. It could be guns.
Everyone's running guns. I know if you go on news.com.au, more shootings in Sydney, the guns are coming from somewhere.
I'm
And
just
Hammer's going to
saying.
sniff them out.
Here we go.
I'm trying to find. I'm surprised that they have the prices of their beer on
They
their
didn't
website.
have the prices of the beers. They just had a list of the
they
drinks.
had a list of the drinks. I can't. I only
Menu?
have. I
Try
have
menu?
home events and menu.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Look
What
down there.
What? I'm just having a look at what the other. Oh, mate.
Food. I
Okay.
don't-
Fresh cut bread. What do you think you'd be paying for some fresh cut bread at the Wildfire Lounge?
$12 probably.
I'm saying 9.
$11.
There we
11?
go. It's extortionate there.
It does serve too.
Are we going to have to like bleep out the name of this place just because I mean, I guess it's not defamation because it's literally reporting back the price of things.
Just
But I mean,
saying-
you are saying they're gun runners. That's not ideal.
Well, I'm just...
Well, when Fatima's comes to us, then we'll know.
They're big floggers over at Fatima's. They love it. Fans of the cabin.
And I'm not saying that they're definitely running guns. I'm just saying there's question marks there.
They have.
If they were running guns, sure, they'd make their beers cheap. They wouldn't need the extra margin.
Good point.
They have 6 beers on the menu, and none of them are Cooper's Green or that Korean
or
one.
Cass.
Or Cass.
But look,
And
as
I-
someone who's got a website associated with the running joke, you know, you don't update it that often.
Yeah.
Every now and again, you're like, fuck, it still sends people to Circular Quay. We should fix that.
Hey guys, don't forget to buy tickets to my 2021 Adelaide show.
Absolutely.
Just to
It
show
happens.
the level of research that I put into talking about this with you boys today, I also looked up an article in the Korea Times which said Cass still sucks. And it said that Gordon Ramsay has been paid as a mouthpiece for the Cass beer brand.
Gordon Ramsay's he's pro Cass.
He's a
pro
shill?
Ca- He's a shill.
shill is a shill
He's been
for
pro
Cass?
Cass, and this journalist questions it.
Okay.
There we go. Said the only thing that Korea that Cass has to do with Korea is that it's brewed in Korea, but it has nothing to do with anything Korean.
Being
I
brewed in
mean-
Korea seems like a pretty significant part.
Yeah.
No, but it's like it doesn't taste like anything that matches any.
Does
of
it
the-
taste
any-
Korean?
It
What
doesn't-
does Korean taste like there, Hamo?
Man, he's not Korean. He's just got Korean parents. He was born there.
There's nothing Korean about
Nothing
him.
Korean about it.
He's not in a hyper-successful pop group.
Here we go. Cass makes a poor partner for Korea's pungent cuisine.
Are we describing
Pungent.
Korea's cuisine as pungent now?
That's what this journalist has said. To complement spice, you need strong flavors.
And Cass is not that strong. I thought
Cass
if
is
you compliment spice, you want weak flavors
It's
because the
watery.
spice is the strong
it's,
flavor.
It's watery. No good.
I don't want to get too down and dirty here, but this sounds like one man's opinion
It is one man's opinion, and there's a photo of Gordon Ramsay with
in front of the Cass sign.
from Cass.
Cass logo.
Anyway,
Out of all, I think Gordon Ramsay can be bought. I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah, I'd be amazed if he couldn't be.
Yeah, I think he's ready. He's ready for the right price. I reckon we
Yeah.
get him in the cabin.
I think the
I think
I think the Wahlbergs notoriously are as well.
No, the Wahlbergs they have integrity, Hamo. That's
Gordon,
why there's so many of them.
Gordon Ramsay would call a Wahlburger the greatest burger on earth for the right price.
Absolutely.
Jamie Oliver, on the other hand, would never do that.
Not Jamie.
Not Jamie.
No, he's a man of the people.
The naked chef.
He has integrity because of the school lunch thing. But then, like, what? Everybody in the UK hates him.
Do they?
I think so.
What
I got
for?
that vibe that people did not like Jamie Oliver.
I think so. I also thought like he'd peddle anything for the price is right. You
I don't
know,
think
reckon?
so. I think he's got like a thing.
Oh.
He's putting it out there, like, you know, I'm doing the school lunches, like my restaurants are healthy, like, you know, this kind of thing. It's supposed to be accessible cooking, whereas Gordon Ramsay's like, I'm going to call you a cunt, but you're homeless. I'm giving you a job.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm a good cunt.
Have you ever seen the supercut of how Gordon Ramsay talks to junior MasterChef and regular MasterChef contestants?
Oh yeah.
No.
It's very funny because he's talking. He's like, "Hey, just for showing up today, you're a winner in my eyes." And then the other he's like, "You're a fucking cunt, mate."
I love that one.
That's nice.
I love that one of him holding bread on that woman's head, and he goes, "What are you?" And she goes, "An idiot sandwich."
You ever seen that meme?
No, I've never seen that.
Good stuff.
It's good stuff.
As I keep finding out, I don't think I really know anything that's going on at all.
Do you not?
I feel very disconnected.
Yeah.
I learned about memes in like 2019.
That surprises me. Would
I was
you
never in an office. Offices are for memes.
Yeah, but like the only reason that I think officers know about memes is because we just spend all the time on the internet, and I still think you feel like you spend a bit of time on the internet.
Yeah, but not looking at memes.
Were you ever a 4chan guy? You got a 4chan vibe too.
No.
You ever
That's
had-
pretty hurtful.
You never had just.
But I mean, I did make your Bucks Party into bingo. And there were some judgments made there also.
you ever had just a mate who's just like an incessant meme peddler? That's just like all day,
We've
every
all
day.
got a
just
dad,
sending-
When dads discovered memes, that was a tragic day for the chain email. I used to love a nice chain email. Send this along to 15 people or something bad. Your dad's like, oh no. Get it out there.
Not again.
Oh man, you know what Daniel's going to want to hear about collective nouns for the 15th time? What is a group of crows called? A murder? That's clever. He'd love to know. He's in the arts. He'll probably use that.
I really hope 2 more owls show up.
Yeah. Did you not get that? Oh, my dad was like the chain email king.
No,
Like,
not really.
Dude, this is how many emails my dad used to send. That Google has tried to stop him sending emails like 8 separate times.
What? What
They
is-
consider him spam. That's just how many he's
Oh.
getting out there to that many people with Gmails. They're like, this has to be a spam account.
He's hitting a number where they're like, this is not a real person.
I assume also emails that no one's opening. But Gmail doesn't have the heart to tell him, like, oi, mate, I don't think they're as interested as you are in nature photography 2016 funny animal photos.
You got to see what all these crows are doing.
It's hilarious. One of them's got sunglasses on.
Attempted murder. Get it?
Wait, so did he keep getting email
One crow on
addresses?
its own?
Yeah, have you seen that? That's a meme.
That's a meme. I thought you were just being
Oh,
fun.
Hammer, now we can just take famous memes and put them in front of Dan as if he's never heard them
Fuck
before.
yeah.
And we can just take credit for him.
I assume that's what you guys have been doing this whole time.
So wait, did he have multiple email addresses banned?
No. Just like he has to like appeal them. And then like everyone has to like assure Google that it's not spam by like making him a favorite or like replying to a few in a row. And then he can send them again.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
That's good stuff. That's good from Leah.
But he also would just mass send memes, including like the family group that I'm in with, Mary's family, my family, including his ex-wife, my mother. And just like some of them were just very crook, kind of horny old man memes.
No.
And he's like, no one's replying to me in the group. And I'm like, I wonder why.
Do you have a guy that you just like kind of borderline knew that would send you like graphic pornography?
Yeah, my dad, we've been over this, Hammer. What are you talking about?
I used to like, there's a guy like in my old rugby team that would like just send me like, and I kind of knew him, but like not super well. And just send me like just chicks fingering themselves like non-stop. Just like, what about?
Non-stop?
Like just every couple
It was
of
a
days.
GIF.
Like,
Man, she's got some stamina, huh?
just keeps going and going and going.
How long is this going to keep rotating his cock around?
This is the longest version of this song I've ever heard.
But yeah, it'd just be like, and like maybe I should just be like, hey man, like I don't like unsubscribe or something like that. But I just,
No, you're just doing thumbs up emojis.
I just
Little heart
like,
reacts.
What are you meant to do?
I always
Because you almost feel like as a guy, you don't want to be like, hey man, stop sending me pussy. Like what do you hate, pussy?
You're already playing 3D chess with this dude? If I say I hate pussy, I'm going to be in trouble here, lads. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had like an incessant pornography sender. Like I've definitely like, I think the great moments amongst lads in cabins that are less professional, you know, they're not meeting there for the content, but like when you reference something that's pretty specific pornography, and then one of the boys is like, yeah.
Nice.
It's a nice moment.
I remember that in high school. The first time someone brought up a porno, I was like, I've seen that. Are we talking about this now?
It's like Christians with the fish who are just drawing like a cock in the sand, and they're like, yeah, one of us.
So when one of the boys shares the group chat like that a famous porn star has passed away, and then you see like a few boys will be like, this one hurts. This one, this one hit hard.
I'm gonna jerk off to it with a half stiffy.
Guys do that.
Out of respect.
Guys will do
Half-mast?
Guys will do a mournful wank.
I was doing the half-mast thing, which you'd never have an issue with the pilot. If you're looking for a respectful wank, pilot's not for you.
Do you reckon that these porn stars would like that? That like that's like there's guys out there just sending them off with a farewell wank?
Yeah, I mean, only if you come, you yell, pour some out. Gotta be respectful, folks.
Does it put your cum out?
Cagney Lynn Carter, R.I.P.
Wow,
So, but the Phil Hughes thing, leave your dildos out.
Leave your dildos out. Well, it was Katie Lynn Carter and it was Jessie Jane quite recently as well.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
that
I saw
one.
Cagney Lynn because that doesn't ring any bells.
Yeah, that one hit me. R.I.P. Jessie.
I don't think I could masturbate to someone with three names because I always associate someone going by three names as an assassin. I
Ever
don't.
wanked to John Wilkes Booth?
I haven't, unfortunately. Here is a bit of a looker. He shot his shot. I should shoot mine.
What's the Kennedy guy? Who shot Kennedy?
Jack Ruby? No, he was the guy
No,
who
Jack
shot
Ruby
the
shot the
guy.
guy.
It's another three-namer.
Ah, it's another three-namer. Yeah, it's not. Come on. We can do
Lee
it.
Harvey Oswald.
Lee
Yeah,
Harvey
Lee Harvey.
Oswald.
There we go.
Nice.
Well done.
Point for Whitcombe.
Glenn Moore, the British comedian, he had that bit about that. It's like that's how much trouble those guys were in. They had to get to use their full names. Lee Harvey Oswald, you get down here this minute.
That's good.
Good bit. Glenn Moore. Funny guy. Okay, so Hammer, do you want to set this up?
All right. We are now talking about pilot treatment for balding hair. I've written an ad for Dan. Dan,
Yeah.
tell us the tale.
Still brought to you by Pilot, but now to their hair loss products.
You can tell we're new to the category through the term balding hair, which I don't know if it's scientific.
Done a lot of research.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, so here we go. I mean, I was a bit concerned when we transitioned to this area because I do have the worst hairline on the show.
This seems to be something you're very sensitive about because you brought it up a few times. So it's not something it's not my first thought about you, but now that you've mentioned it, I can see it.
Okay. I mean,
I've
this
never
is
thought-
really helping with the insecurity.
I've never thought about it.
I mean, no, dude, Yaz the other week at the running joke, I get on stage to do the light test, and she goes, "Are you showing more forehead than usual?"
Oh,
This is my friend.
Like it's cleavage.
tough way to say.
Getting just fucking lit up out of nowhere. Just like, oh yeah, I thought I'd just really get it out. Just after a compliment, you know. All right. Here's this week's ad read. Thanks, Hammer. Here we go. G'day, floggers. There's no easy way to say this. I'm a balding man. Any day now, I might turn into a full-blown chrome dome. A cue ball. Follically challenged. Can you imagine me fully bald? I'd be like Mr. Potato Head when his hat falls off. I tried to seek advice on how to fix my thinning up top from my two good friends, Ashley and Martin, who are definitely real people. However, found their advice costly and complicated. Fortunately, I discovered Pilot's affordable hair loss treatment. And now my hair is back to growing thicker and stronger, just like my Pilot-fueled erections. With Pilot, I can focus on my hair do's, not my hair don'ts. Go to pilot.com.au and use floggers20 for $20 off your first order. Pilot, regrow your confidence. Oh, hello.
That's pretty
yeah.
good.
Not a bad tag.
there's a line off their website. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How did you come up with
I
that?
spent a lot of time.
I thought you and your toilet were, writers rooming it.
No, for the money we're making, I'm spending a lot of time on research, boys. I was on the Pilot website looking about things like the word follicle and regrowing your confidence.
You got follicle off the website?
Yeah.
Okay.
First time you heard of it?
Yeah. And
I can never tell how smart you are.
it comes and goes.
That's just like his mushrooms. It's magic.
But all the quotes from guys there are them like saying how much better Pilot was than Ashley and Martin. And
Yeah.
so,
On the Pilot website?
on the Pilot website.
Shocker.
There we go. every single quote. So there we go.
Actually, fuck, I did go to Ashley and Martin for a consult. Don't tell my mate who, runs Pilot.
Runs a
But
hair replacement.
no, it was really funny because the guy was like, they're not a doctor that you talk to at Ashley and Martin. That's just a fact. You can talk to a doctor later, but on the initial consult, just some guy. And I really completely lost faith in him because we were talking about the product and how it all works. And he was like describing some of the things. And you know the word hirsute,
Oh, yeah.
which means hairy. He's like, oh, yeah, one of the things you become hirsute. I don't know what that means. Anyway, and moved on. And I was like, if you're in the fucking hair growing industry, maybe have all your hair
You gotta
adjectives
know that.
locked
you
down.
got to know that. Chrome dome, egghead, a suit.
I think this is more like things with hair, Hammer, not just.
But you want to
bullying.
know words on both sides.
You got to know. You got to start them here, get them here.
All right, listen up, egghead. You want to get a suit? There we go.
When you walk in the door, you're a chrome dome, you're a baldy, you're an egghead. When you walk out, you're hirsute, you're masculine, you're sexy.
To find that comparison to Mr. Potato Head, I had to look at a photo of you and then put my hand over your hair to then look at like what that would look like.
It's amazing how little imagination you have without mushrooms. I just need to visualize it.
And it'd be like this. And then I looked at a photo of Mr. Potato Head and I'm like, actually, that's not far off.
I mean, the actual one is something that Mary sends me occasionally when I get grumpy. She sends me Bert looking stern from Bert and Ernie. And that would be me with shit hair. Just like a little tuft up here and just like,
Bert looking stern is very good.
That's brilliant.
When I'm
pretty
being grumpy
spot
by
on.
a text, she just sends me a photo of that and I'm like, fuck.
I'm going to remember that because you were not just grumpy via text to your wife.
There we go.
I'm grumpy by text to everybody.
Yeah.
Because I'm grumpy. And people keep texting me. I should really stop. But you know what I wasn't grumpy about? Segway search. Smooth sailing. I went to Tay-Tay.
Yeah.
There we go.
I went to Tay-Tay on Monday. Just a little rhyme for you. I know you like those.
Love it.
We heard the ad. We know how
Yeah,
much you like
it was pretty good. Like, I'm not a Swiftie. I'm in no way Swiftful. Like, but mate, going in there, I can understand why the Republicans are worried.
Oh yeah,
Everyone in that stadium, if she told them to do something, they'd fucking do it.
nice.
I've never seen that level of devotion.
How far?
Ever.
How far were you from Tay Tay?
We were obstructed view. It was like last minute tickets. My wife snagged them.
Yep.
Because she really wanted to go. So we were kind of behind, but there was like a big screen. You could see everything anyway. And then like she very professional the whole show, like, fucking watertight, just every piece of staging. And she made sure that she came to like our little weird nook thing 3 times just to be like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay,
That is
so
nice.
she's aware of the obstructed view, and she's like, let's just give these poor people a couple of things.
Mate, military precision on this fucking thing. Like, she goes for, I think it was over 3 hours. It was like maybe 3 hours and 15. There's like fuck all breaks.
Good value.
That is good value.
I think some people said like 44 songs, of which I knew, I'm going to say 8.
Oh wow.
And like, it was watertight. It was just, knows exactly what she's doing. The staging's sick. There's like this weird scene where they have like spring and then like trees grow out of the fucking stage. They got these wristbands that glow different colors based on the era that she's in.
Oh, yeah.
And like, so the whole stadium's just going. Like, I was just seeing all the white like lights out there throughout every song. You just can really see how many people are in the thing. And it really reminded me of like, when I did the Olympic Stadium for the Olympics, like there was similar numbers, you got to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was out there, mate.
Well, remind us what you're doing at the Olympics.
I was doing sign language while Nikki Webster sung Under the Southern Sky.
Wow.
That's a huge claim to fame, don't you reckon?
Big get.
Big get.
Got a
Huge
certificate.
get. Oh, you reckon Taylor got a certificate?
You were doing sign
Probably
language.
not.
Yeah.
You can sign.
Well, they taught you the sign language, mate.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't a very long song. I can still do it. I still remember the moves.
Was the Tay Tay show just 80,000 people standing there with their phones out the entire time?
Man, one thing that was super creepy that I didn't like is these two, I'm going to say girls, bordering on ladies, whatever, like were in front of us and they were like filming pretty much the whole time. And I'm like, whatever, capture your thing, sure. But occasionally they'd film like themselves reacting to the show. So the camera was like facing this way and I'm just in the middle.
Oh yeah.
And I'm there like enjoying it, but not enjoying it enough. So I'm just terrified I'm going to end up on some fucking Taylor Swift TikTok being like, classic man hates Tay-Tay, ruin him. And then someone's going to be like, wait, that's community animal. And then there's just going to be comment after comment being like, you didn't deserve to see the show. And I'm like, I know, but I paid for it, so fuck off.
Yeah,
like,
where's Ernie?
Damn it. But yeah, like that was, I think that's pretty uncool.
to capture.
Have other people in your
backlit.
frame when you're like filming back, like, and not just like, I'm just like kind of there in the thing. Like it was like between two of them, I was just like just dead center.
Yeah.
To the point where I was like, are they filming me because I'm not singing enough?
Yeah.
I was concerned. I felt like I could only feel like a Soviet era Russian. I'm not enjoying Stalin's speech enough. The people are going to snitch on me and I'm going to go to the
There's
gulag.
going to be a knock on the door.
Yeah. You're going to send me to the goddamn gulag where I see a, less cool pop star. Like, I don't want to name any names here, but Kesha.
What happened to Kesha?
She's doing all right.
Is she?
I think she won the lawsuit.
What lawsuit?
She had a tough time for a bit. I
She-
think
she
there was
like-
some music producer that did some horrible things.
Yeah. And she won, I'm pretty sure. Got her rights back, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, did horrible things like in a business sense or in a?
I think sexual.
Okay.
I think both.
Yeah.
To be fair.
All right.
But yeah, it was just really funny because like the main thing was like like at the Taylor Swift concert, just the sheer like femaleness
Yeah.
of it all. Like walking in, I was genuinely like intimidated as like a dude. Just like there is so much estrogen in this stadium. They are so pumped. They are like yelling. They're fucking ready. And I was like, man, I really hope they like me,
I felt that way to a much lesser extent going to the Barbie movie. Where it's like, this is not for me. I know. I'm just trying to support. I've heard great things. I just want to see what it's like.
Yeah.
But did you think they viewed you as an ally? Tay-Tay Ali?
I
Or
don't-
just
No,
like-
no, the things
or
I
a
was
guy
saying.
or a guy that took a seat that could have gone to a chick.
I look. I think that definitely. Maybe not. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. The Kanye West show was probably a bit much. But, it was just funny. I just walked in and I'm like, shit, am I worthy? Like I don't feel like I'm who this is for.
Yeah, they're like, thank you so much for taking the obstructed view. That's the right place for you to be.
Which is the other thing. I was quite tall compared to a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, man, I'm just really letting everyone around me lead when I stand and sit. I don't want to obstruct any views. We're already obstructed here. It's not good. But like, it was just kind of like from the first chord of every song, like the crowd was like, ah! And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, if one of these pop stars had like quite an extremist ideology, I'm just saying, there's no more skyscrapers in New York. That's over. It's not just the Twin Towers. They're all gone.
If only there was an example of a popular music star who had some extremist ideologies recently, but I can't think of one.
Let's get to the most important question.
Sure.
Were they hot?
No.
Oh,
Food and beverage service.
Are we
during
back
the
here,
show,
are we?
right?
Cans of Cooper's
'Cause,
Green,
like,
$14.
In my head, right, you're at a sporting event, a lot of fellas, that beer line pumping the whole time, right? There's long queues, and also for the hot food. I reckon Swifties are just sitting in their seats. They're not going to the bar that much. They're probably not even drinking that much. I reckon you go there and it's just empty.
Dude, I didn't leave my seat the entire time. I just watched the show. I was fine.
No bathroom breaks?
No bathroom breaks.
3 hours, you said. 3.5 hours?
Well, I missed the first half an hour because we're doing the last podcast.
all right, okay. Well,
Let's just keep that nice and fucking
that's
quiet.
still-
When you're walking in late
That's still the length
as
of
a
the-
man with the crowd outside being like, does anyone have a ticket? Please. I was
still-
genuinely like, I should just give my ticket away. Like,
You're still at
ugh.
the equivalent of a rock concert. I'm not doing that without like smashing frothies.
But I didn't drink. I had like a bit of Coke Zero, which seemed appropriate. They didn't serve regular Coke there.
Well, what?
You're not meant to
They
be
know the
having
fan
it.
base. What?
You're not meant to be having regular Coke. You're thrushy cock.
That's true, actually.
Sugary.
That's
Sugary
true.
drinks.
I mean, I'm very upset at how wide this has gone. Because now, if like anyone orders a juice, they're like, Dan, no. Keep it away. Come on, mate. You want to be careful out there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on the hard stuff. Old Muggo's relapse. I'm seeing him at the lounge with a fucking orange juice.
Well, I'm thinking out loud that if I went to a Tay-Tay, that would be one of the first things I would realise. I'd be like, there's an open goal here at the bar. I can just go whenever.
You're missing the concert just to take advantage of the shortness of the queues?
I'm just like, I can drink and then go to the bathroom. There's going to be no queues in the bathroom, right? For men's, I can just do constant laps, watching Tay-Tay, drinking beers, pissing. And I'll be like, this is fantastic.
Just doing laps.
You can't do that at a major sporting event that's dominated by men.
You can do it pretty much everywhere else, though.
Am I going into the Wildfire Lounge? Be like, mate, no line. No line for the bar, no line for the toilet. Fucking in we go.
All right, but I'm
Like
talking about
$13. Like, look, man, I get it. You're very fast, but I don't think.
I'm talking specifically about an 80,000 people major cultural event.
The lines for the women's toilets must have been insane, I imagine.
Again, I didn't see Mary went and she was back pretty fast.
Yeah,
I don't think it was
okay.
too bad.
Because they're not sinking that much. Because they're not pissing. They're not drinking piss, right? They're not drinking booze.
They haven't Diet Coke.
Are you just suggesting chicks don't drink? Is that the new statement we're putting forward in the cabin?
Okay, so at a Taylor Swift concert, I'm saying they're not getting like hammered in the way that you like guys do when they go to like a fucking heavy metal concert.
Yeah, they're getting hot dogs and chips like what, max once?
Yeah, there we go.
They're not having second dinners.
And that's not even a real dinner. That's a single snack, right? A single snack and one softie for the Swifties.
I've just, upon reflecting on this...
Softie for the Swifties.
Softies for the going to live events must cost you so much money.
Absolutely.
Because you'd be smashing beers and hot chips all night.
Yeah, but I used to do this thing called sell drugs for money. And so it wasn't an issue.
Dude, he didn't get into cocaine because he liked the feeling. He just liked the appetite suppression.
I'd be like, hey, boys, you want to go to the All Blacks game? And then I'd buy like good seats for like 8 dudes. And then we'd just go there and like just smash a million beers. And it wasn't a big thing. Because
the whole fucking pack's in there?
the
The front row?
I wasn't even paying tax, dude. You know, so I'm talking like
Wait, you weren't paying tax on your drugs?
0 tax.
Dude, dealing drugs is bad, but not paying tax is wrong. You got to upkeep these roads, brother. You got to put money back into the economy. You're just taking it out.
In hindsight, I feel terrible now.
You're like a Chinese property speculator. This is no good, mate.
Yeah, you didn't
keep the
even-
cash in Australia.
You didn't contribute to any of the costs of you going to prison.
You got a fucking free ride in there. This is unbelievable. We need to vote this government out.
Free accommodation in a rental crisis and fed me. So
Was you that was telling me that there's some people who just like going back to jail because like their life's taken care of, like they don't need a com, they get fed. Like it's actually easier for them in there than on the outside.
absolutely.
Because they've got like pretty hardcore mental illness.
Well, I mean,
Was that you that told me, or the movie The Shawshank Redemption?
I mean, I wouldn't call it necessarily mental illness. It's just a reality, right? Like guys sometimes they can have a harsher life on the outside than the inside. And I mean, certainly you see that with a lot of the Aboriginal community. They have more.
All right, let's move on. I was most attracted to when you said you guys had a touch football tournament at jail. That seemed like a bit of fun.
We need to talk about the Kooris. If not now, when?
Probably like 100 episodes in.
These guys have more power and respect in there.
Just because I voted against giving them a voice doesn't mean I don't want to speak on their behalf.
I didn't vote against giving them a voice to hear it now.
And there was that guy that during COVID that he'd been on the run from prison. He escaped like in like the 80s. His name was like Darko Desic or Desic Darko. I can't remember. It was one of those. He was
Donnie
like,
Darko?
Donnie Darko.
No, that wasn't it. But he handed himself into police because he was living on the streets because he was a cash in hand worker who couldn't make any money during COVID outbreak, during the lockdown. And he was like, well, I'm just living on the streets. All right, might as well just go back to prison. And so he handed himself in for a bed.
For what? But did he say he committed a crime?
Well, because he
was on the run.
He'd broken out of prison.
Oh, he was on the run.
Well, he'd been out of prison for like 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Just working in like the northern beaches as like a tradie, like a
Fuck, I would never think to look there, hey.
northern beaches.
Just like someone's escaped from prison, yeah, let's fucking check Avalon. You want to swing by the home and away set?
And then they were gonna make him do like a few months in prison to serve out his time, and then they were gonna kick him out of the country because
They're going to deport him.
They were going to deport him. That's right. That was the word I was thinking of. But he was originally from Yugoslavia, which isn't even a country anymore. It's not a country, mate.
Are we trying to be like former Yugoslavian person, not a country. Where's he going to go?
No, I didn't.
Mate, Donnie, bad news. You got on the plane, but I tell you, we don't know where it's going. We're sending to Yugoslavia. It doesn't exist anymore.
No, I think I've thought about this on the podcast before when my mate got in a taxi and he tried to get a taxi to Camaret. And he goes, I'm going to Cameroon. And the taxi driver's like, Cameroon? Cameroon's a country, mate. A country in Africa. I'll take you. Good fare.
Got my pilot's license, not a problem. Get your Cameroon. Good footballing nation.
Cameroon.
Is that Samuel Eto'o? Cameroon? I think so. Samuel Eto'o? Cameroon?
Was he Cote d'Ivoire?
No, not Cote d'Ivoire. That was Drogba.
And the Tourés, right?
Yeah, the Torres, yeah. Samuel Eto'o. Cameroonian.
There you go.
Got
Good
it.
Stuff.
Got it.
Friend of mine when
Guess
I was...
what? I'm not racist this week. Next.
Do you want to weigh in on the Kooris now? Now that it's official?
No, we're cutting that out. That's gone.
When I was 18 and living in the UK, a friend of mine stayed with me, and he was doing a big backpacking thing around the world, and he booked tickets to what he thought was Lagos, Portugal. Had actually bought tickets to Lagos, Nigeria, and
Oh, fuck, that's funny.
and I alerted him, and I've regretted it to this day.
Wait, you stopped him?
I stopped him.
He could have gone.
He could have gone.
It would have been amazing.
If you look up Lagos, Nigeria, the first image that comes up on Google Images is a guy with a chain around a cheetah.
Can you imagine on this flight to Portugal? Be like, man, a lot of Nigerians on this flight.
It is tough to have that weighing on you. Like, do I tell my friend or is it much funnier? Because, like,
Oof.
you're
But like,
we
you gotta-
joke, but like, would you?
But did he have a
let
flight?
it play out?
Did he have a flight out?
What do you? It was a one way.
It was a one way.
Yeah. Because he was just gonna
so funny.
He was just gonna fly to Portugal and be there for as long as he wanted to, which was, as it turned out, way too long.
Is he still there?
No.
Is he one of those?
He just loved. He worked at one of those. You in Portugal they have those like there's that really famous bar there called the Three Monkeys. Have you heard about this thing?
No.
It's not important. Anyway, he loved it.
What is this?
It was just
We're on
like,
a fucking podcast. We're in the business of talking. Just like, have you heard of this?
you would have like, you would have
Fuck, our first cliffhanger.
well, I'd hate for us to speak about something we don't have preformed opinions on. Hate for us to come up with something on the fly. Go on.
Tell us about the Three Monkeys. What the fuck are you talking about? You keep looking at me like we're gonna move on. What's wrong with this place?
In Lagos, in Portugal, is like it's like a big party destination, and there was this hostel and this bar that were like kind of sister venues. And in the bar, they had this big leaderboard of I can't remember what it was called, but it was basically you had to you did a beer bong, and I think it was like 3 beers and a shot in a beer bong, and if you did it, you got a mark up on the wall for your nation. And it was like tallying up which country was winning. And I think Australia was doing quite well.
I would have made Australia proud. I can tell you that right now.
Get me over there.
I'm a fucking patriot, brother.
He says before burping.
Drape me in green and gold and give me that fucking beer bong.
But he went there instead of Lagos, Nigeria, unfortunately.
Because, I mean,
I hear they got a similar thing.
it is so funny to let it play out, though, isn't it?
Dude, I still remember driving down to Melbourne Comedy Festival one year. I pulled in at a rest stop, and Carl Legacy was in the car with me. And I went to pee. He got in the car, drove away.
Oh, no.
Drove out of the rest stop. And I walked out of the bathroom. The car, I just see it speeding down the highway. And I'm like, oh, fuck. That is funny, though.
That is very funny. And then what, did he just...
I had to find the U-turn. It took about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was just there being like, is he coming back?
Yeah.
If he doesn't come back, it's funny.
Yep.
If he comes back, it's still funny, but less funny than if he comes back. But if he doesn't come back, I'm fucked.
Yeah. That is true. If he didn't come back, that's way funnier if he just kept going.
Super funny.
So funny.
And then, like, I get to Melbourne, like, a truck driver's got my phone number. Like, I've done things I didn't think I'd do.
Yeah.
But here I am in Melbourne just ready to do a comedy show, and fuck me, it's got a story arc this year.
What kind of things are we talking about?
Oh, like what? This was still 4 hours out of Melbourne. If I had to jerk off a trucker to get there, I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
What year is this?
2016?
Yeah, okay.
17?
You're not doing great.
Are you saying like my general financial position determines whether or not to give a trucker a hand job?
Yeah, I'd hope so.
What am I bargaining him down?
We've heard stories.
No, hand job. I'll give you $50.
Dude, we heard stories from 2016.
$200. Oh, that was that year when Muggleton was just giving out hand jobs because it wasn't going well. That was his general income stream, just jerking dudes off.
Because the show needed an arc.
Let me tell you, it had an arc that come from that truck driver. But he did pull the horn when I did it, so that felt good. Bum, bum.
How good do you guys ever still request the horn? You ever still do these ones?
Every now and again, you request the horn. Yeah, why not? Bit of fun.
Yeah, I remember seeing a thing on Reddit once where the guy was like, it was the thread was something like, "What's something about your profession you wish other people knew about it?" And he was like, "I'm a truck driver. Please tell your kids to keep asking for the horn. We love it."
That's sick.
Very sweet.
That is nice.
Yeah.
I can't. Do you reckon a truck driver would ask me for a hand job?
I think it'd be expected. With a mustache like that, there'd be some non-verbal consent from his perspective.
Someone would probably ask you to do drugs with them.
That sounds better. Is that just so I can give a longer hand job?
I think some of them would just.
You should see this lad on speed. His grip strength is off the fucking charts, mate.
Why would they ask him to do drugs with him? Just for the...
Well, they have heaps of drugs when they're driving, right? And so they'd probably...
Do you reckon it's just universal, or is that just like one of those speculation things that's not actually true?
Well, I spoke to a guy recently that is a long-haul driver, and he said a lot of them these days take the alertness medication modafinil, which I used to use as an off-label treatment for my ADHD, and it's considered to be a nootropic, which is called the Limitless drug.
Oh, that movie Limitless.
Yeah.
They call it the Limitless drug. A lot of them are on that.
So apparently it's used by Olympic sprinters to reduce their reaction time. So when they hear the gun go off, they start faster.
Right.
And,
Help me.
And to get it prescribed, a lot of them claim they have narcolepsy.
Yep.
Olympic sprinters.
Yeah.
I got it prescribed by a doctor. I went there and I said that I'm a shift worker. So you got to say that you're working.
I mean, that's not untrue.
I used to say that I'm working like long shifts, and then I've got a night job, and I need to stay awake, and I'm finding myself nodding off. And I've heard that modafinil can help. And then he's like, yeah, no worries. So you get prescribed it, and it's like $3 a tablet, which I thought was too much. But you can order them off the internet, off a dodgy website for like from India for like 50 cents a tablet.
Right.
So I did that, and they're just as good.
Were they on your your menu at any point?
No, I didn't sell them on the drug menu because it was just like the returns weren't good enough to bother about it. But I used to have it, and I found it effective to help me to concentrate, and it didn't have the same side effects that I would have from dexamphetamines.
Dexies were too much?
Too much.
Too much power.
Well, okay, so they killed my appetite. I don't know if you guys know, but I love to eat food.
Yeah.
And so any drug which kills my appetite is a no from me.
Is that why you never did cocaine?
I was like, people are like, oh, you stay skinny on cocaine. I'm like, no, trust me, I can biohack that.
The white biohack. I've got to go to background in biochemistry.
I like the idea. It's just like, it's an appetizer present. Yeah, but if you want it enough.
Yeah, you get to day 3 of a Coke bender, day 4, you start ordering some cheesies.
I'm just picturing like Hamo snorting a line off a sausage roll, then eating it. Just like some fucking kink. Love it.
But yeah, modafinil, apparently that's big in the trucking community now. And I mean, it's legal.
I see like no-dos around a lot.
Did you ever used to do no-dos?
No.
I haven't done that in forever, but in high school and like uni especially, that was like a vibe.
Just like caffeine, isn't it? Is
Yeah,
that right?
caffeine tablets.
I
I
had
remember George Gregan used to take caffeine tablets before he played rugby. Do you not remember this?
No.
It was like this story came out.
I missed that Weet-Bix ad. How many do you do?
Yeah, 2 before a game. Otherwise, I have trouble sleeping. Can't do any more. But no, like genuinely, I remember this was like a 90s, like early 2000s, like Australian sports story. Like George Gregan admits to caffeine tablets, and everyone, and he's like, it's just like having some coffees, guys. And like the media was outraged. They're like, he's using performance enhancing drugs. It's just caffeine.
Wait till I hear about Andrew Johns.
He would have loved some fucking modafinil. Then he would have stopped dancing on the field. But like, yeah, it was. We used to do no-dos like for some reason, like amongst my mates and like uni mates. Like that was the stay up and study, like cram, late night drive, whatever. Like I remember crushing up and snorting no-dos on like a semi-regular basis, and I'm like, this is the lamest drug, I think.
Just caffeine, coffee in
But
pill form.
snorting caffeine pills, so it's kind of like, yeah, I fucking mean it. Never found the shelf,
Here we
mate.
fucking go, boys. No, I had some no-dos last year in Melbourne because my show was so late one night, and it just made me, like, I was alert, but I didn't feel quite right.
Didn't feel the warm hug of MDMA. It's more of a cold energy.
I just had like 2 strong coffees and a hot shower just to kind of like.
Wait, before your show last year,
Yeah.
when were we having these coffees? You were at 10:30?
10:40.
10:40.
So I was having it at like 8 p.m. I'd have like 2 like really strong coffees and a hot shower just to like jolt myself.
7-Eleven? Is that what you're getting?
No, they were just in my hotel at the Ibis. They had I was just doing packet
Pack of coffee.
coffee and just
What's a strong in terms of a packet? A 2-packet or a 3-packet?
I can't remember now. It was definitely 2, sometimes 3.
Hello.
When I was really struggling.
Yeah.
But I just had to like just jolt myself because my body was just like, we're fucked and we're running out of puff.
You've got an early show this year, don't you? Or earlier?
7.
7.
At 7 for the first 2 weeks and then 8:30 I think for the second 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Still much better than 10:40 every night, which was a killer because
You were working during the day too.
I was working my day job during the day, and I also found I'd do the show at 10:40. I'd finish by around midnight. Then I'd be G'd up that the show went all right. So then I'd go to like hang out with other comics at the festival club.
Like me.
Like you.
Like us.
And we end up at like Guzman and Gomez at 3 a.m. I'm pissed. Then I'd have 5 hours sleep, get up and do my day job all day.
Yeah, but the irony was, before the day job, no coffees.
Right.
He was fucking ready to go.
Yeah.
and then I would have a nap at 5 o'clock till 7, and then I'd have dinner and start it all over again.
Yeah.
And I have put my body through the wars before, and this felt like, oh, you can handle this. But when you get to about like week 2 of that kind of lifestyle, I started to collapse.
Did you get weird?
I didn't get weird.
I get like, I think, short-tempered.
No.
Like you just find yourself yelling at a cyclist in the street. You're like, I should probably have a night off.
No, the mental health was fine. It was just my body started to fall apart. Like I just found my energy and my voice. I think I've talked about this before. The horsey voice came in,
and then suddenly you're not funny.
Well, no, suddenly
you're a hoarse-voiced man talking about prison.
That's right. Yeah, it just.
I'll be rated as one to watch.
So I was in fucking Long Bay.
Yeah, some people think I'm a pedophile. Anyway.
So it just So I that was my first time ever having to talk for an hour every night without break for like
Dude,
ever.
it is fucking exhausting.
I didn't realize that it's such a marathon on the body.
And just to bring that back, like the most shows I've ever done, like an hour. I've done 2 hours in a day back to back when I've taped stuff, which is like a 7 p.m. to, well, really it's like 7:30 to 8:30, and then like 10 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Yep.
You do those back to back, and by the end you are so fucking fried mentally. And one thing I took out of that Taylor Swift concert, 3 hours, over 3 hours, singing, including dancing. And she does not run out of puff. It is fucking remarkable.
And she's doing it night after night.
Yeah,
I'd love to know how many steps she racks up in one of those concerts. Like, chuck a Fitbit on her. It must be crazy.
Yeah, it'd be incredible. Put a GPS on it like the fucking footy players, man.
Yeah.
See how much ground she's covering at top speed. But I can only imagine the amount of modafinil Taylor Swift is on a nightly basis. But no, I was
Probably doing 6 sachets of Makona at the Ibis.
Dude, can you imagine it like, oh, I guess not. In my head, I was just like, imagine how long it's been since a celebrity like that has had an instant coffee. But surely just in the studio, it just happens. Like,
No, I don't reckon.
I reckon within the last year, Taylor Swift has had an instant coffee.
Now, if she doesn't want it, no way. If she doesn't like it, if there's someone out there, there's like if nothing else, she's got Brewster on staff kind of shit of like, go make me one.
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon there's just at some point, it's just like, it is instant, whatever. I just need a coffee right now.
You kind of Nespresso is instant?
Nah.
More.
I'm talking packet.
Yeah.
Freeze dried.
Packet, kettle.
Well, can we try and get her on, you reckon?
I mean, I've been to the show. Like, surely she'd help a Swiftie out.
Remember me? You came over a few times.
Obstructed you. Wait, do you recognise me now? for any audio listeners, I covered part of my face.
There we go.
The view was obstructed.
Wait, were you that guy not seen in the back of that 2 girls video?
Shit.
I knew I should have feigned it.
Going to the gulag. It's happening. But yeah, I was amazed by her stamina.
There was a gulag story in the news today about how Putin still has a gulag called like Winter Wolf or something crazy like that.
Of course he does. You serious? You think Putin wouldn't have a gulag?
It seems like an old word, the word gulag.
It sounds delicious. I think gulag, I've always thought
What do you
sounds
think
like
of goulash?
like a phenomenal stew.
That sounds like there's any slow cooked beef anywhere near here. Where's the bread? Oh, comrade, the bread.
What is this gulag?
It's only bread.
Bread for you, comrade.
But I just like the name. It was like something.
In the gulag, you are goulash.
What was this gulag called? It was something called like Winter Wolf. I was like, oh.
I'm sure in Russian it sounds cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going. Yeah, comrade, you are not going to survive. You're going to the Winter Wolf. And he's like, that sounds fucking sick, actually. Because currently I live in Vladivostok and it's fucking grim out there, son.
Polar Wolf. There we go.
Polar Wolf. Hello.
There we go. You're off to the Polar Wolf, mate.
Going to the Polar Wolf. The Swifties didn't sing enough.
Summer rabbit is full.
Summer rabbit. That took me a few goes. Your Russian accent.
Oh no, did I bomb? Did I bomb real bad right now?
Summer rabbit. That's great.
Like, I'd really love to go to Polar Wolf if I could. I would really love. All my mates are Polar Wolf.
Yeah, I like layers. Summer rabbit. No, too warm for me. I have scarf. I must go Polar Wolf.
Summer rabbit.
Summer rabbit. It actually does sound like a nice spring dish instead of the goulash.
Yeah.
Goulash too heavy for summer.
We'll share the summer rabbit.
Summer rabbit, go round.
Tom, you've got something to tell us about.
You got something to set it up.
I got something to set up.
Is this Tom Tent?
Tom Tent?
Content, but Tom.
Tom Tent. Oh,
Tom
there
Tent.
we go. Tom
Don't know
Tent.
about that.
Not my best work. If only I had some kind of PR man to shape this for me. The fallout's going to be massive.
So we had Hamo do the second of his movie segments last episode. Told us all about what was the last movie you told us about?
The Ethicist.
The Ethicist. And
The
before-
ethicist, Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson is the Ethicist. It's
good.
His performance was impetuous. And then before that before the Ethicist, we had 8. We had 8. You have to whisper them.
Sequel to 7.
And
Sequel is 6.
there we go.
We got it.
I thought I would take a turn. I feel like in hearing those two movies.
Is this something you already had in the bank
No.
in your head, or you've come up with it recently?
No, I've come because what happened is
The counter pitch.
I've heard the two.
The studio's only got enough budget for one film. Here comes Witcombe. Last minute.
You fucking dog.
No, this is collaboration. I'm pitching him to you, Ham. I'm trying to see what you might get on board with.
The fuck am I doing here then?
Because I've lost.
What?
I can't. Oh, there we go. It
don't.
came out for a second, but it might have just been the
No,
headphones.
it's okay. It was the headphones, yeah.
All right, cool.
Don't touch that thing because it makes the thing freeze.
All right, sweet.
That's okay.
So I feel like I've kind of worked out the formula of the movies that Hamo loves, based on 8 and based on The Ethicist. Murder mystery, where there are a series of murders and they have to kind of unpick what the conceptual connection is between them. You know, the 8 heavenly virtues, the thought experiments in ethics practice. And I thought, well, based off that, I reckon I can pitch some to Hamo that he might like. So I've got 3 for you. All right.
Oh, fuck. Here we go. This is my wet dream.
3. Okay.
Pitch them at me.
Here we go. Is the first one. Jesus Rivera is a simple man of God and carpenter. But after the disappearance of his friends Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Jesus' faith is tested like it's never been before. And when a photo of an innocent group dinner narrows the list of suspects to 12, Jesus finds himself questioning everything he thought he knew about his social circle, even his closest friend and apprentice, Judas Iscariot. Pedro Pascal stars in this twisted retelling of a New Testament classic, Mission Apostolable.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Apostolable.
Mission Apostolable. So yeah, I think, you know, we it starts off, it's just a regular kind of, you know, regular guy, and then we start to realize, no, there's religious undertones to this.
There we go. It's something. Who'd you say starring in it? Sorry,
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro's great.
Great
He's
casting.
Hot.
Yeah.
He's so hot right now.
Very good.
All right.
So hot right now.
Okay, here we go. The second one, Team USA Olympic long jump coach Jasper Gregorian is preparing his team for the Paris Games. But tragedy strikes when on February 29th, Gregorian's son and jumping protege is found having seemingly leapt to his death. 4 years to the day since his world record holding older brother was found at the bottom of the same cliff. Unwilling to write it off as suicide, Gregorian sets out to find the leap day killer in a race against the calendar, because if he can't, come February 29th, 2028, he could be next.
Oh,
John Travolta stars in Leap Day of Faith.
Leap Day of Faith. These are pretty good.
These are good. What was the I'm getting the long jump element and the leap year element. Mm-hmm. Is there more to it? Am I missing a third?
February 29th is a day that only happens once every 4 years.
Yeah, I got that was the leap year bit.
And Gregorian. It's like the
Gregorian calendar. There's layers.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of Easter eggs.
Okay.
Here we go, you fucking idiot.
I thought there might have been like some kind of moral conundrum with someone jumping that I was unaware of.
Well, no, I think he was he was said to have jumped to his death, but twice in 8 years on February 29th, he doesn't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, at the moment, all he needs to do is tickle our fancy, and then we have to write the rest of the story.
These are elevator pitches.
These are pitches. There we go.
You wouldn't get it. You're not really biz guys like me and Hammer.
There we go.
Maybe you guys could send me a meme explaining it.
All right, the third one. I think this is my strongest. I'm very happy with this
Wait,
one.
you're ending with the best one.
Is that how lists work?
That's not how we do things here, mate. Start with the best one and peter out.
Snowed under by the investigation of 2 single homicides, a double homicide, a triple homicide, and a quintuple homicide. Things are looking pretty down for Detective Horatio Fibonacci.
There we go. I already can see it coming. Hold on, there's a number sequence here. I know this is going. There we go.
But after the grisly discovery of 8 murdered statisticians, Horatio can't help but wonder if these cases could be linked. Could a distant family relative hold the key to unlocking this mystery? And can he solve it before 13, 21, 34, or 55 more lives are lost? Bruce Willis stars in this psychological thriller, The Golden Horatio.
I mean, that is strong.
That is very good.
Unfortunately, we know that the casting's unrealistic because Bruce Willis is on the way out.
We can revive his career, I reckon.
Saw some prayers. I mean,
But can we revive Bruce Willis?
He's health-wise.
Oh, is he?
You don't know this?
I did not know
He's,
this.
he's on his deathbed.
Very unwell.
He's
yeah.
fucked.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So, can you? Who else could you see in the role?
Yeah, I don't know. So whoever got Pedro Pascal, John Travolta. It felt like a Bruce Willis role.
The Fibonacci sequence. And he's a detective, is he?
He's a detective.
A
Yep.
grizzled detective.
He's a grizzled detective.
I mean, I did like McConaughey in True Detective. Could
Oh yeah,
McConaughey
that's
be
true. He
on
could reprise
there?
that role. Or Woody Harrelson could also.
Woody?
We could have Owen Wilson. He
Owen
can play well
Wilson?
in a serious role. Then when he sees the link, he can say, "Wow."
Wow.
He doesn't sell it to me in a serious role. What serious roles has he been in when you're like, oh, this is good acting?
Midnight in Paris.
I don't think I've seen
He was good in that.
How
Yeah.
serious is that though? Really? It's a Woody Allen movie.
It's a movie. It's not directed by Judd Apatow.
Sure.
There's dialogue and shit.
I think Tom Hardy could be strong in it.
Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Fibonacci sequence.
Fibonacci.
What about Stanley Tucci?
Stanley Tucci. You think?
I love Stanley Tucci.
Stanley is a fantastic actor.
But didn't solve it too quick. I mean, this is a Fibonacci sequence. You guys are all idiots. I'm Stanley Tucci. I understand math. Get the fuck out of here.
He understands math.
I think
Stanley
so.
Tucci, you think?
I think
he's like
so.
cooking.
He is quite a cerebral actor.
I thought he was
He
like a
could-
smart
yeah.
fella.
He
You know,
does.
some just like some actors, you're like, that guy knows stuff.
Yeah.
What's the name of that guy that was in the Cinderella Man that wasn't Russell Crowe? You know, the guy...
Russell Crowe would actually be pretty good.
Russell Crowe would actually. I think Russell Crowe's the guy. I need someone who's a little washed up. I think.
Yeah.
I think. Not to insult Russell Crowe if he happens to listen.
He'll come down here. We'll fucking sort you out, mate.
Paul Giamatti?
I love
Giamatti.
Paul
Paul
Giamatti.
Giamatti.
That's pretty good.
There we go.
He'd be good in it.
That's if you're talking like another one, like a Stanley Tucci, Paul Giamatti is another
But
one.
then, like, he'd really be overdoing it. It's just like, there's going to be 11 people die next. 11.
11.
I like him.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now you've really now you put some pressure on me about these the other ideas that I've got because I was trying to think if they all do match that description. No, they don't. I don't think.
Well, it's just there are a series of murders. What's the common underlying theme? Tom's gone biblical, calendar, and mathematical.
Yep.
Whereas you've gone
Whatever.
sequel to the concept of the previous film.
Yeah, that I liked. And who decides what the rules are on a driverless car? What can we do with that?
Yeah, I think
Ethics, business ethics.
it's actually Adam Sandler starring in that, during that scene from Billy Madison about business ethics. We're all dumber having heard it, and then it just cuts to the credits. It's good gear. I like it. The Fibonacci sequence doesn't get enough credit, I reckon.
No.
One of the highlights of maths for anybody.
Yeah, it's good fun, but no one can really understand why it matters. I don't think.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, hey, this is nice.
The last time I've been focusing on Fibonacci was watching Prison Break, where there was this whole thing about the mafia guy was in prison because of an informant called Fibonacci, and so the whole time he's trying to be like, "You give me the location of Fibonacci."
Yeah.
Good stuff.
You ever think about getting the map of Long Bay tattooed on your back?
And then when he
that would
finally
be fun.
performs there, he can have a little X be like, you performed here.
When I first started doing stand up, I started go through every movie to to make jokes about any TV show or movie that
Features prison?
That features
What a short list.
and I tried all those gags and it just really was wasn't paying off in any big way. I did try it, talking about these tats are actually a map.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just didn't quite.
Not
pay
good
off.
gear?
Nah, not really.
I think that's fairly niche.
I don't think it's niche.
I think-
but it's just not that funny.
Have you tried doing a John Coffey impression? Like the drink, but not spelled the same.
Who is John Coffey?
John Coffey was the
Green Mile. Come on, the giant black man.
Michael Seymour Duncan.
No, I've never seen The Green Mile.
Really?
You
Never.
gotta see the Green Mile.
Hammer's got a bit about it.
Does he?
I don't know. He tried one.
It's
I
about
presume.
it's about a mouse
About a mouse.
It's about a mouse.
called Mr. Bojangles.
Oh yeah.
You gotta watch the movie to get it.
I was going to say, if you're going to describe the movie, it's about a mouse. I'm like, I think it was Stuart Little.
No, it is a good movie. Stephen King.
Stephen King? Oh, he wrote it, yeah. Didn't he write Shawshank?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But it was called something else. I think the original, the short story, which Frank Darabont bought off him for like a couple of dollars.
Seriously.
The rights to the.
Because
to make
he
the movie.
liked it, didn't he? Like, I thought he gave him the script and Stephen King was like, yeah, it's sick, do it, or something. Or he was excited
okay.
that someone's
But-
going to make it. I forget.
But he also gave him quite a low check. I can't remember if it was $1 or $1,000, but Stephen King never cashed it. He just had it. He made it into like a thing that he put in his wall.
Yes. I remember this.
But he said that that's his favorite
Adaptation.
ever of anything that he's written.
Yeah.
He wasn't a huge fan of The Shining.
Hated The Shining.
Yeah.
Really didn't like
He
it.
didn't like that one.
Never seen The Shining either.
Have you read it?
Never.
Good book.
It's brilliant. The book and the movie, but
I've seen the Simpsons thing
you've
about it.
gotta-
You've seen it in the movie.
but you got to see like that's one who's a brilliant writer and one who's a brilliant auteur, right? Who's just taken his own vision of it, which is very different to the book.
Uh-huh.
So they're both like, so he's just like, yeah. It's,
So you telling me Stephen King's like, man, I like it when they just do what I did, but visually.
yeah.
well,
What a crazy author.
yeah, I don't know, but just he just didn't like his interpretation of it. But they're awesome. I also what's the second one called of The Shining called?
To Shining?
Dr. Dream or something? Dr.
Oh yeah, so what is it called? Doctor Sleep.
Dr. Sleep?
Yeah, Doctor Sleep. I think it was. And,
Shining the Two Towers?
And that
What is-
I.
So you're doing a 9/11 thing.
I enjoyed.
Shining the Empire Strikes Back?
I liked the ending of the movie better than the book.
Return of the Shining?
Return of the Shining.
I've done 3 of these. I get no fucking laughs. Tom does 1. Gets laughs.
Too busy in my own head.
You guys left to Shining, just on the cutting room floor.
Sometimes I get stuck in my own head. I was trying to think.
All jokes and no laughs make Daniel something something.
Here we go.
Straight out of The Simpsons. Guys, we've done plenty of time.
Here we go. We've done it.
And I believe that, oh boy, have we almost hit some heights.
Oh, it's been so close.
Few big laughs.
Yep.
Couple of
There we go.
moments that were okay.
Yep.
And that's all we can ask for, right?
I think there was some moments that were more than okay.
Well, right in.
Yep.
But no, obviously, keep flogging the cabin. Thanks for listening. One quick thing. Tom has been about this, and I've made fun of him, but then the numbers have stalled a bit, so now I'm back into it. Give us a little review. Give us a little
please.
5-star
5
on
stars.
Spotify or iTunes.
Also, I think we're almost up to 100 subscribers on YouTube, which is
Oh, wow.
exciting.
We're getting there.
That's exciting.
The cabin's on the tube, baby. Watch the cabin, because, oh boy, if you enjoy hearing it, you're going to love to see it.
And if you don't like hearing it, give it a go watching it.
Yeah, just mute it, keep it on in the background. We're having a nice time. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the visual cabin. Yeah, that's everything.
That is everything.
All right, check the Dodgems.
Anything else?
Is there another thing?
Stay flogged up.
Stay flogged up. We've lost Stay Flogged Up. We need to bring that back.
Dude, we in Adelaide, Hamo did a little stay flogged up in front of an inflatable church.
Oh, yeah.
the floggers
nice.
loved it.
We had to ask this security guard who at first was like, no, you can't go past this.
You had to pay money to enter an inflatable church in the middle of a day.
Wait, was it like a bouncy church?
No, it was just up. It was nothing on the ground.
Oh.
It was that material, but there was no bouncy on the base of it. It was just an inflatable gimmicky church.
Maybe you could bounce off the walls or something if you wanted.
It was being guarded by one guy who really was not passionate about his work. And so we asked, can we just go under this like little, what was it, a rope?
Oh, that was a rope.
That was a rope.
Well, we stepped over it. We didn't
We
go
said,
under
can
it.
we go under the? Can we go past this rope and just film something? And he was like, "Nah." We're like, "Oh, come on." And he was like, "All right."
It was so easy.
Yeah.
Just like, man, we're not going to go. We're just going to stand here. He was like, okay.
Yeah, okay.
And then we did 30 seconds of me getting down on my knees and doing the sign of the cross and saying some
They
stupid
fucked up.
things. And then he was just like, "We were these idiots."
Yeah, he laughed.
That's
Good
good.
stuff.
And we are the idiots from the Flog cabin.
That's it. That's where to find us in the cabin. But Hamo,
Bye.